I just had a pair of zip ties. Can you find them at all? They were already put together.
2?
Yeah. What would have happened to them?
You didn't drop them on the floor, did you?
I haven't been anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't drop them on the floor, did you?
No. I mean, you'd see them. I mean, nobody's on here, so it's not like it matters.
But still, where did the zip ties go? Drop them in here? No. What the hell? Did you shove this in here?
No. I would guess it's shipped that way, dude.
Yeah, I guess so.
Somebody's in here.
Maybe.
Somebody's watching.
Oh, yeah?
Sorry, wasn't exactly prepared.
Give me time, listen.
Please. Stop. You got that part perfect. Just on the wrong side. Alright, there we go. Now you can see better. There we go. Alright. Let's do this. Oh, and of course it's inside of the box. Of the,
The one that you showed it.
of course, yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yep. Keep in mind that you gotta watch the link.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure other people do.
You on YouTube or Twitch?
Huh?
YouTube or Twitch?
I'm talking about Ryan.
What are you streaming on?
YouTube.
Okay.
If you want to pull up the channel, we can probably see it over there too.
Is it a monitor? See how it's working?
Huh?
Just a monitor.
Yeah.
See how it's working.
Absolutely. Alright, so we got our motherboard. Let's look at this big nasty cooler and make sure she's going to fit, because look at the size of the heatsink situation over here on the output devices. Look at this thing.
Yeah, that's how they're all
It's
coming these days.
enormous. Yeah, but that's tall. Like, that's a lot taller than that ROG over there. Oh yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. It's
Yeah.
almost the same as this one, the old HyperX.
Mm.
It's super similar. That's good looking though. It comes with thermal paste already on it though.
That's cool.
No, it's really not. We're probably just gonna clean that off. Okay, so it does have the same mounting as that one in the ROG, the giant Noctua. Look, it's the same bracket system.
Yeah.
But that's Intel, so I bet we use the straight ones. You know, reading instructions is, you know, sometimes part of the deal. Okay, back plate for the CPU cooler. Oh look, they went black instead of blue with the little standy guys.
Nice.
Here, I don't need this. Alright. Oh no, there's blues too. There's all sorts of stuff in here. Alright, well I've never done this cooler, so that's where we're going to start so that we can see how it goes on. It says it does AM5, but like none of them have it in the instructions really, so we probably just need to make sure we go with the AM4 layout for the AM5 platform. Wow, absolutely everything is LGA Intel. There you go. Oh, it does have AM5. They updated the instructions. That's great. Oops, bracket. Okay, so I was right. It's the straight ones. Gray spacers. So this guy, you give me a 10. Come on, Noctua. You couldn't have notched this where we could open it more easily. Alright, So, of course, step one is take all the screws out of the AMD factory bracket. Can you give me a baggie that I can put the factory AMD stuff in?
Where do we get baggies from?
The center table should have something.
Oh, I see. A bag of baggies.
A bag of baggies, yes. How poetic.
How poetic.
Alright.
Bigger than this.
Extra. Well, that might work.
Okay.
I just want to keep the factory Mobo parts, so
Mhm.
if we find out this guy has an issue that, you know, we can get it back together for sending it for returns.
Right.
So all that's back in. That's going to go back in the motherboard box. Alright, so we got that guy. So, okay, we don't have to put the back plate on since it's AMD. This is Intel. We need the gray spacers. And then the screws go through. And we do, oh, I probably could have used this.
Good point.
Well, I'll have a bunch of other
Yeah.
parts. I'll keep all the cooler parts together. So yeah, we're gonna use these guys, the straight ones, like I kind of assumed. Will you give me the big Phillips head, please? So this one,
This guy?
yes sir. This one's gonna go this way. And I think we're gonna clear the output devices. Wait. That shows it perpendicular. That won't fit perpendicular. Maybe the illustration isn't accurate because these can't fit this way. They have to go that way. Well, it's what you get with the cute little hand-drawn pictures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to go that way. It would not fit any other way by any means. Oh, we need to get the CPU in before because this one's going to cover it just like on the Intel. So we're going to pop off the cover. And you got your swing arm. So obviously the pins there, the most sensitive part of the board. Whoa, look at that guy.
That's pretty mighty.
That's interesting looking. I've not done an AM5 yet, so this is a little new. Oh, you're the second viewer. That's
yeah,
why.
there's only two.
Yeah, so
And
it's just you and one other guy.
It's me monitoring.
And it's probably a bot anyway. Let's be honest.
Hey, you know, I'm modding the chat, so that's all that matters.
Yes, Lord knows. All the crazy action. Okay, so we still have the little nubbies, the little cutouts. So that's cool. Be super careful with this guy. Man, it's heavy. CPUs are always heavy, but she's quite dense. Very nice. Rock and roll. Crisis averted. Yeah, it's probably some bot from YouTube. Oh yeah, and it dropped off too. Making sure I'm not cursing or something.
Yeah. I mean, we got a like on the video. It might not have been a bot.
That's true.
It's Ryan up front, I guess.
Why is Ryan up front?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's gonna come let us know right now. Here he comes. 3.
Can you
2.
stop him from interrupting? Yeah, it's Veterans Day, so they'll do a parade downtown.
Yeah, they've already got the stuff blocked off there, but the bells at the church were going nuts. I was like, what is going on up there? Because it's only
PG.
I was like, what's going on out there? Because it's
Yeah,
just they're just
Yeah.
keep tolling, and it's only a quarter to 11.
I'm with you. I'm just
Be live streaming.
yes. No one's watching. Somebody
Gotcha.
was. They left. They left.
Some one person was, and now it's me monitoring the live stream. I'll give you the band hammer real quick.
Alrighty. Give me little screwdriver, the blue one. These
Out right here.
should be over there. So we're gonna pull off this M2 spreader so it's not in our way. Okay, that's right, because look, where those guys sit, that's how we want it. So that's all good.
To be honest, I wasn't sure what you were talking about because even in the pictures, it looks.
No, look, the swing arm, it's the opposite side. It's this way. It's not parallel with the swing arm like it is in real life. It's perpendicular in the picture. So the picture's wrong. See what I mean?
Yeah.
See, the swing arm's this way,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then they're this way, and that's the opposite of this. Same in that picture. It shows them being top and bottom, not left and right. So, just bad documentation. Be surprised. Not this game.
I'm forward.
I can tell. Okay, so this is interesting. So it still comes with the metal standoffy, but if you use the full length, it's the little switch
Oh, it
guy.
has the-
But if you use
yeah.
a short length, then you need it. That's
Okay.
kind of funky, but whatever. There are all these extra pieces for the cooler in. Alright, so we got CPU installed, we got bracket for cooler installed, and then this looks good as far as length. So we're good there. I think we can do this. Throw that in El Boxo. Oh,
Okay, throw it, but
instrucciones.
put off
Fastening the heatsink to the CPU.
Live non-copyrighted music in the background.
No. Do you think I'll get sued over the bells? That church bell music's copyrighted.
So I can't whistle Jurassic Park right now.
I'd prefer if you didn't. It's probably John Williams, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's John Williams.
Yeah.
Where'd this come from? Oh, more Noctua box.
Yep.
Okay.
You're not gonna put his Ryzen sticker on there?
No, I never, dude. Have you met me? I'm not about that life, all right?
How's he gonna know what's inside of it, man? Come on, put the sticker on.
Because somebody awesome built it. That's what how it's done.
Oh.
E. Okay, so M2 drive. Let's go ahead and throw that guy in. So this is super easy on this one since it's just a little rotating plastic thing.
Yeah.
So you just go like that. And that's it. How anticlimactic.
A little bit, yeah.
Alright, so spreader,
I'm almost disappointed.
almost.
Almost.
We're not going to pull the label, obviously. Because we want warranty. From
But of
good
course.
old Samsung. There we go. Tighten. Okay, where I always screw up is the RAM. I always forget to document the serial numbers before I install the RAM. And see, like the Samsung serial numbers on the box.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the video card and all the other goodies. But the RAM, it's on the sticks.
You want me to take him down real quick?
So yeah, go ahead and notate them. And that they should only be one digit off on the end for obvious reasons because they're a pair. So yeah. All right. So RAM, we're gonna go A2B2 as always. It could go a little wider. There we go. Not that anybody's watching, but maybe I could watch it again later. Okay, I need cutters. So this case, like a lot of them, comes with a fan that mounts above or in the bottom to pull air or push air.
Mhm.
So at least it comes with it, but I'm probably not going to use that, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and lose the other case side. Okay, so let's see if our standoffs are in the right spots. I think they are. I think it's missing one. Nope, maybe this board doesn't have one there. Alright, so we're gonna line up all the main mounting screw holes. That's good, that's good. 3 across, 3 at the top. Yep, it's good. So they're all in good shape. Just for giggles though, we're going to use the old T-handle to snug them up, make sure they're tight so we don't have anybody trying to back out on us, like your boy in the corner.
Yeah.
He has one that's stuck in because he used the wrong side screw
Yeah,
and
he
then
told me.
backed it out.
I think his heat shield's the same size as this one.
Heat shield?
Yeah, that's the thing that you were talking about on the motherboard.
Oh yeah,
That's so big.
It looks taller, but maybe it's just because of the CPU
Possibly.
monstrosity cooler being in the way.
I just feel like this part right here is a bit standardized. I would assume at
It's
least.
not, I can tell you that, but at least Asus is probably wise enough to limit the height so that it doesn't become a problem. Dude, I really like this case. Like all this empty space over here.
Yeah.
Because typically that's got like a bunch of drive cages I don't need and I have to take them out, which is fine, but.
So this one was just like, oh, you don't need those drive cases.
Well, it's a gamer style case, so it doesn't have provisions for, Soho file server number of drives in it
Right.
for obvious reasons. I overtightened the thumb screws with it. It's very similar to that one. Okay, so we're good there. CPU cooler. I think I want to take this junk off and I want to redo it with new real grease. So let's grab some
But
towels
it's
and
so
clean
neat.
that off. You said you already got the RAM notated.
Uh-huh.
So I can go ahead and install them. Yep. Just do what you can dry, and then I'll give you some of the orange stuff to clean it off with, and then we'll replace it. So brand new DDR5. No stickers anymore. I like that. Or no film rather. Sure, A2B2. Good old Corsair. Is this the same kit you got, the 5200?
That's the exact same kit.
I didn't know if you ended up with the 5600. I couldn't remember.
Well,
This was cheaper,
No, I'm not
and
sure.
this is all the bus will do. So I did the 5200. Because I figured why spend the extra money when the CPU bus won't do 5600.
mm-hmm.
The motherboard will, but that's overclock. And we all know how I feel about overclock.
I got the 52.
Oh, okay.
I don't think, at least when I searched or saw the other day, there wasn't a 56 option on Amazon at least. They went up to like I think 64, something like that. It's huge.
It's huge, man.
It's large.
I'm gonna be done with this before anybody's watching. Alright, so let's get the kit with the goo and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just like his, this one pops off, and to get to this screw, you've got to take it apart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So look, you've got it. It's hooked around the first layer and then through the second.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to take kind of mental picture note of that, so I know how to put it back. In the cleaning kit, number 1 is the material remover. So we're going to use that. So give me a towel, please. And I think we're gonna have to be really sparing on this, because look, I mean, this is dangerous. Like the way that AM5 sits, if you overdo it, it will end up in like places you really don't want it. Oh, that worked beautifully. Look at that.
Nice. Yes, that's awesome.
Mirror. Alright, we'll purify it once that stuff evaporates. A little bit more. And I'm going to use the good Arctic Silver. I need pliers to get that tip off because it gets so sticky. Alright. Purifier.
More than you need.
Helicopter. That's loud, dude. Are they like parachuting in for Veterans Day?
Who knows? Probably.
So I'm gonna go pretty sparing on this thermal grease because I'm a little sketched by the layout here. So what I'm gonna do is what I used to do all the time. I'm gonna put the cooler on and then I'm gonna take it right back off to see what it did. Since I've not used this cooler before. Though again, I mean it looks like it's a dead copy of the Cooler Master. What are you beeping over there?
Mm-hmm.
The video or something else? Give me thumbs up, bro.
Let's see. Ryan Miller sent me the link to this. Can't wait to see the finished build. Neither can we.
Oh, did you send him a link to watch?
Somebody got a link from Ryan.
Oh,
Not from
cool.
me.
So I find it funny that the kids were off school for voting and then aren't for Veterans Day.
I saw some kids walking around, but they were young, not necessarily high school age.
I'm talking about public school, like where my daughter goes. I
Oh.
don't know about, around here.
Yeah.
I mean, you went to Franklin. What did y'all get Veterans Day?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I really don't think so, honestly. I don't even think there was a parade in Franklin back then, though. Like for Veterans Day.
There's a parade in Franklin for everything.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever saw one for Veterans Day or even heard about it.
Well, these days anyway, there's a parade for everything.
Yeah.
Alright, we're almost back off. I got it all the way on. Just gonna lift up and see what she did. Almost perfect, man. Slightly over, but it didn't get anywhere. I don't like that design. That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's coming pre-greased. Because they're so worried about people overdoing it, So anywhere that I have excess, I'm just taking it back off.
I feel like if that's how Ryzen's going to do their processors, though, those need to be coming pre-greased.
The CPU.
Or I'm sorry, yeah, the CPU.
Well, the cooler typically is where the grease would come because you wouldn't be able to read the CPU to know you got what you bought.
Okay, good point.
Because you got to be able to read, what's on the etch on the chip. It looks good. One little spot, but it's not near anything important. It didn't go over the sides at all. Let this be a cautionary tale to always go lighter than you think you need,
Mhm.
and then check it if you're at all worried. I'm gonna use a tie leg as a spudger or a spreader. And just try to get these corners real nice.
This is not an Intel build. This is a Ryzen build. K-Dot asked.
You can respond, or
I mean,
I can.
I'm sure he heard me. I just said it.
Oh, that's fair. I don't know how good the mic's picking us up.
Oh, okay. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yep, new Ryzen AM5. It's our first of many AM5s, I'm sure, because you're getting ready to order your goodies.
Yeah, I'm about to do mine. Yeah.
But first customer AM5. Second DDR5 custom build that I've done, though I've worked on several others that I didn't make. Good
K-Dot
Corsair.
says a P-size dot is all you need. That's what I was taught.
That is correct, but you probably didn't get to see this new AM5 CPU. It's kind of funny looking on the top, and because of that, I went light, and it still was almost too much, and kind of had to pull back. So the P-size, rule is definitely what I've always used as well. But the new AM5, it's not totally smooth. There's cutouts on all four sides, and there's actually stuff directly below those cutouts that you could probably short, with the grease. So just trying to be a little overcautious for safety's sake, but we didn't get any thermal paste anywhere we don't want to, which obviously is always the goal. So Ryan, I'm gonna reclip this guy. Like I said, out is always the flat side. So we want to have it obviously in the CPU fan. The other's for an all-in-one pump, CPU cooler liquid. So we're going to go in that main spot. And I like to do it outside the case just because it's a little easier to mess with than doing it in the case. But obviously if you got to service it, you're probably not going to want to pull the whole motherboard over it. And I like the way Noctua does these with the little spring guys. It holds pretty well. Cooler Master's a little different. It's plastic clips. I like that too. And then I'm going to go ahead and cable manage this mess, because even though Noctua, put a nice sleeve on it, I just don't want it in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Can you grab me 4-inch ties? There should be a bunch in that top left tote, the gray. Yep, right there. Those are 8-inch. Can you grab some 4s? These, okay, so this does have 8-pin and 4-pin for power supply CPU connection. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're just going to try to fold this guy up nice and neat as best we can. It's a little long. Probably going to go over twice. I do have a full start to finish, like 2-hour video build on the channel. That's like every explanation of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and my experience over, gosh, more than 100, I'm sure, custom builds at this point. Because I've done probably 30 or 40 with this company, and I used to do them on my own all the time. Well, back in the 90s, it used to be cheaper. Now it's more expensive than pre-built.
Why does Windows 11 run horribly on DDR4 RAM?
I don't think it does. Windows 11 and Windows 10 are the same kernel, so I don't think that's accurate. Why you say?
K-Dot asked.
Yeah, I don't think it does. I mean, I think Windows 11's clunky as far as the interface, but as far as the architecture, it doesn't really care what RAM you've got. Obviously, faster RAM is faster, but it doesn't run horribly. I mean, we've got it on a bunch of systems and it runs fine. So, not sure why you're having trouble with it. Could be something unrelated to the memory. Obviously, I would not say that it's memory specific unless you've got evidence that corroborates that. But it's all good. I love having the nice handle to pick it all up by now. Okay, so we need our screw box. This is Antec. They always put all the goodies in the hard drive bay. So it's actually a box that clips in the hard drive bay. Yeah, pretty clever. Antec makes a real good case. I wish they still made power supplies readily available. They were very good. That high current in that server's an Antec.
Yep.
And that's a very nice one. I don't throw the ties away that come with cases, but I don't use them for stuff I care about because they're always weaker than the ones you purchase third party. Can you get me a tin that doesn't have a magnet in it? Like yeah, that's great. So I'm gonna just dump case screws in that. Of course, they're all black because it's a gamer case. Alright, we've got our motherboard screws. I always like to take one and double check. And I know if they're coarse or fine thread. Oh, I think these are fine thread. That's a bit of a change for Antec. It used to always be coarse thread. Yep, they're fine threads now. This is why I check. Alright, so I need 9. I know a lot of people like to bench test the stuff. I think that's dangerous because the risk of shorting something or something not being properly seated, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, is higher than the risk that brand new parts don't work, because I just don't run into it very often. This people don't do all the time though. They put their motherboard in and then realize the IO isn't there. What I don't get though is Asus was building it on here for a while and then they just quit doing it. And I loved that because it looks cleaner. It doesn't have all these little spring dudes that get in your way because it just built on. And I can't tell you how many custom builds come in the door that these are like bent, you know, like they'll have one that sits on top of the NIC and it'll be bent up and out because they screwed it up, you know, when they were putting it together. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't pull the motherboard over it either, but it's just kind of funny. And all this stuff is just not that precision. It was back in the good old Japanese days of manufacturing. Alright, that's good. So I think we're good to put our board in. I can't think of anything else at this juncture. So we got our fan facing out, got our IO shield. Just gonna drop it in as a unit. Very good. And then you know how I do it every time. I start each of the 9 screws without tightening so that everything can kind of settle. So just a few turns on each screw, let it all settle and line up, and then tighten down. There's an M2 Wi-Fi vertical slot. It's really funny looking in here. I wonder, I guess they just don't have the real estate to make it horizontal. Do you see that? That's an M2 Wi-Fi, but it's vertical. So it's like, so how would you, I don't know how you tie it to the chassis, but maybe they have a bracket that puts it on this port or something. It's a neat idea, but this is not the Wi-Fi board. Yours will be the Wi-Fi board.
Oh, I know. I'm excited.
But if you don't use the Wi-Fi, it is still going to eat some of your express lanes.
Good thing I plan on using it.
Well, at least until you can hardwire.
True.
Eventually, you might get away from it.
I'm not worried about it. Not yet.
Oh, whatever. Your Call of Duty lag is all because of your Wi-Fi, bro.
I don't lag.
Dude, you just got a brand new AX router.
Yeah, my router is incredible. I don't lag. It's awesome. The game crashes, but that's the game fault.
Oh, I started playing Spirits Unleashed, the Ghostbusters game last night.
How is it?
It's actually a lot of fun, and my last round, you know, like with most new games, I mean, I got my rear handed to me a number of times in the online play, and then the last match, I won almost all the awards. And it's like, okay, it's midnight, I'm done.
You were in bed before me last night. I'm sorry, after me. I was in bed before you.
Well, you don't game during the week, right? Isn't that your standard policy?
Not often.
Oh, there's some cute little spots. I bet those have clips that snap in for the M2 Wi-Fi and go vertical. I bet that's what it is. And I get that there aren't fans in the top of this case right now or yet, but look at how much easier it is to get to the CPU power on this case than it is the little cases. I mean, ridiculous. So much better.
I'm excited about my Lee & Lee case.
Yeah, they're cool, man. I mean, that one that you're getting, it's the one from that white custom build video that I've got on YouTube, and I mean, it was a nice case. It's a little pricey, but not terrible. And I guess really it's the fan arrays and the streamers and all the extras that are really the pricey parts, right?
Yeah.
The case itself really wasn't bad.
Like
Right.
I mean, for the price that it's at, like, you know, I would pay a little bit less for it, but whatever. It looks dope. It's gonna be what I want.
You would pay less for it? No.
Yeah, I would pay less for it.
I think anyone would pay less for anything.
Give it to me for free, Lee & Lee.
Yeah.
Sponsor me.
I was gonna say, I'm not sponsored. Are you sponsored?
I'm trying
I
to.
know you're trying to get your Twitch up so you can get sponsored, but
Here's the issue I was having. I have to reset it every time I restart my computer. Reset what, K-Dot?
yeah, what are you resetting? Because that sounds like there's a problem, obviously, or maybe not obviously. MemTest 86, it's built into most motherboards, especially these Asus boards. I would start by running that to see if there's something going on with your RAM, because that just shouldn't be the case. I've not run into that on pretty much anything as far as Windows 11 with issues. There's plenty of other issues though, you know, but it's mostly usability stuff that I don't like that they unnecessarily change just to make it different. But all these companies, Apple and Microsoft and Google, just can't leave anything alone. They just have to mess with it all the time. I don't really get that, so. I apologize, y'all really can't see what I'm doing as far as the screws, but pretty not exciting. Maybe it means reseat the RAM?
Possibly.
Not reset?
He says it's not using the full amounts of RAM. How
Well,
much RAM do you have in it?
well, back in the day, that could be a problem of you running a 32-bit OS instead of 64, but that's gone now. We haven't had that problem in a long time. So it's not that with Windows 11 because there's no 32-bit version, I'm pretty sure. So could be settings with the virtual memory, or it could be something with motherboard settings, but I've not seen it have like a memory hole or a gap between actual and usable, I guess is the technical terminology for that. I've not seen that problem really. Oops. Thermal pasty kit. This is from an old school. Do you remember the Fatality gaming series? Like before ROG and all that? There was a guy that was a gamer and he was the Fatality in the eyes of one. And they marketed all sorts of products with his name on it, his gamer tag or whatever, and that's what that was from.
Fatality.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of old school sounding now, isn't it?
It's whatever.
Not a lot of people playing the old fighting games, though they're memeing it all the time now. All right, we got an EVGA 650 folding
Fighting games are
modular.
still very popular. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not
Street
good at them,
Fighter?
and so I don't play them. Street Fighter still is very popular. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is a really good one.
Never even heard of
It's,
that.
that one's like 2 years old.
Oh.
So yeah, or more than 2 years old. But Tekken, oh my god.
I remember Tekken
watch-
back in the day.
I'll watch Tekken tournament highlights on YouTube every now and then because some of the stuff people do
Yeah.
is just wild.
Is there like any new Mortal Kombat games these days?
Yeah, I can't remember when the last one came out, and it was alright. I didn't mind it. But I don't know. I don't like the left and right only fighters. Like in Tekken, you can move in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, so more like in Final Fantasy and some of those where you can actually move up toward them from the camera.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, I just remember back in the old like NES and Sega days that they were just button mashers.
They could be, but they also still had some technique behind them. For
Oh,
sure.
I know, but what was so funny is, you know, guys that knew the technique and knew the like combo moves and stuff like that would get mad if you were just mashing buttons because you would usually beat them. So that's like, so why do you worry about it then?
K-Dot says he's using 64 gigabytes of RAM and showing up in the BIOS, but not showing up on the OS part.
Man, I don't know. At that point, I'd say, you know, where did you get the OS? Did you clean load it from like brand new, like a Windows Media Creation Tool made thumb drive, or you know, is it a preload? You know, is this a factory built computer that he pulled RAM and upgraded it? You know, there's a lot of variables there, so I'm just not sure what that would be. I don't think we're gonna need the SATA stuff. We definitely do need the CPU because we need a 4-pin and an 8-pin, so we're gonna keep those guys out. Definitely don't need the floppy adapter from Molex, old school.
Nice.
And then the video card. I don't remember. Does this one say what it's got? I can just open it. I feel like it's got to have at least one 6 or 8 pin, right? It's 12 gigs, and it is a nice 3060. Let's see what we got. It's an MSI. It's probably not my first choice. The price was right. It's a good card. I mean, they're not bad. I just like EVGA. I've done a couple gigabytes. I think my 3080 is a gigabyte. I need to rebuild my computer too. Yep, single 8. So that's great. No stickers. Hey. Like none of the
Nothing to
film all
peel
over
off.
everything.
No.
Well, it's not glossy, dude.
Yeah.
It's all textured.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Always pull these guys before you install, because sometimes the case will slightly cover them where you can't get them out for the ports, or just let it fly across the ring. I like to leave this on until I'm ready to put it on. Shouldn't be touching your Type 16 connector. Kind of comes with nothing. Like it doesn't even come with the like Molex or SATA adapter for the 8-pin, or I guess those are really for 6-pin. They don't offer the double grounds extra for the 8-pin. I like to keep the little insert guys though, because if the motherboard has spots like an HDMI or display port, I like to fill those with the little fillers that came in the video card. So that way the customer doesn't plug into the board instead of the card, because it happens. It happens a lot actually. I've gone on site with clients and then I'm like, dude, you're not even using your video card. So yeah, there's a display port, I'm gonna fill that. And there's an HDMI on the board, gonna fill that. For a second there I got scared our Type C was covered up like we were complaining about earlier, but it is not. Okay, so we need 8-pin. I wish they just had a single, not a double. Because that means I gotta strap this back if we don't need it. So since we only need an 8, I still have to use the double-ended. So I'm just gonna strap it flat when we go to do that. And then we got the SATA and Molex. We'll just set those off to the side. I don't think we're gonna end up needing them. Okay, so this guy has air that can pull in from the bottom with a filter or the top. As far as the layout in the case, I like it being on the bottom. Not just because you can read the label through the window, but because all of our cabling needs to be on that side, and that's not fully modular, semi-modular. See why I don't care? You can't not use this. Like,
Yeah.
what build are you gonna do? I mean, even with mining, this is where you put the little jumper on that keeps the power supply on. So you still need the 24-pin coming no matter how you do it. Oh, I'm trying to go the wrong way here.
I was about to stop you, but you saw your mistake.
Yep. Alright, I need to just stand up. This doesn't make sense. Can you pull all
Yeah.
these out? Yeah. I do like it's got the little pads for the power supply. That's always nice. That way they don't make a lot of noise. These are definitely coarse thread. Power supplies have not changed. Of course, it doesn't want to catch. There we go. Don't exactly give me a way to reach it. There. good old unnecessarily long Phillips head that we do everything with. You could go ahead and plug the cables in the power supply, obviously, but it's got a lot of room. I'm not real worried about it. All right, that's good to go. So now let's get to the back. So we got our power, cable management. Oh, we do need SATA. That's our little fan distribution and your good old RGB
Oh,
stuff.
the controller or
Yeah, it
whatever.
all needs SATA power. And then it's got the little jumper to go to the motherboard. I'm not worrying about almost any of that right now. I just want enough to turn this guy on so we know everything's working.
Mhm.
I do need the 2 CPU power, so I'm gonna try to plug those in. Oh, and there is a drive caddy in the way. Can I take that out? I can. All right, we're gonna take the drive caddy out because no one's gonna use the 3.5 in this build. So. So better airflow, and now that guy's not in our way.
Nice.
It'll be easier to plug in all our good stuff. Can't see a thing. I bought y'all one of those magnet lights. Do you know where it went? Or did it ever come in?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Okay, well I'm gonna grab mine out of the car so you can see it, because it's awesome. Yeah, like every parking spot out there is taken by people going to the parade.
Oh yeah,
So-
I can hear the drums.
So just a single on off, but it's magnet, which is kind of cool. So I can prop it inside of the case so I can see. CPU 2, CPU 1. Okay, so VGA will be easier to plug in first. Surprised they're different. Oh look, they're even keyed different. Yeah, that guy's square and that guy's rounded corners.
Mm.
Usually they key them the same because they're just 12 volt. There's no 5 or 3.3
Mm-hmm.
in any of them, but whatever. I just like that I can reach them without too much trouble. In a lot of these cases, it's hard to get to this stuff if you don't do it before you put the power supply in. Then you got an unwieldy beast of, and there goes the magnet light. The spaghetti monster will get you sometime. Okay, we're good on all that, and then we need SATA, but that's just for the fans. Any of these that don't have a million SATA ins on them? 3, 3, and 3, of course. So we're gonna have to wad it all up as always. See, this is why like people are so worried about fully modular power supply, and then you still end up with stuff that you don't need that's in the way. Because like this is still a triple-headed SATA, and we need one.
Right.
I mean, you could technically cut it if you did a really clean job. You could cut it right here,
Mhm.
but if you shorted any of it, you'd blow everything up. So probably not. Probably not gonna do it. So several different techniques here for flattening. Don't like any of it though. Is it warm in here?
A little bit. So I ended up taking the hoodie off. I think it's just warming up outside though. That's why we feel it.
I'm only seeing one, and that's probably you, right? So homeboy left.
Oh yeah, I guess he did leave. He hasn't responded either in a little while.
Okay. No skin off my nose. Apparently he Doesn't care that much about the Windows 11. There's too many variables. Like, people always ask those kinds of questions, and it's like, man, I can give you 100 reasons, but I need a lot more information to actually give you something actionable. Dude, I do not like how they did this cable, because I do not have a very clean way to do anything about this length. What's for lunch?
I don't know. What do you want to do for lunch, huh?
I don't know. Got some food here. Don't really want it. Oh, I need to find out if I have a babysitter for tonight.
Babysitter. 4, 8.
Kind of putting the cart before the horse here. I sat there and said all this about, I just really want to turn it on, make sure everything works. And then, of course, I get sucked into cable management, because that's me. But it's really so that I can plug in the SATA for our little fan controller guy. That little guy.
That little guy? I wouldn't worry about that little guy.
Thanks, Mac.
You're welcome.
No, wait, that's Ramathorn.
Yeah.
Ramathorn.
Say
Ramethorn.
Nailed it. You didn't say Karimra. Oh no, I forgot.
I thought this is a 2 terabyte, and it is. Okay, so how do I want to handle the fact that it's an 8 and a 4? Does it care which is which? Yes, it does. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to split the cable a bit. Just kind of shoving stuff back in the holes here.
Boom, perfect, nice.
Boom, perfect, nice.
I found a better AI art generator.
Yeah.
It only let me do 3 pictures, but I got a good one, so I'm gonna
For
change it
you?
to- For me, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. if
What,
you
did
wanna
I let
try-
you do 3 for free or something?
Yeah, and then I had to buy credits, and I was like, nah. I got a good one already. But if you want to try it out, it actually took time to generate
It's
a
actually
picture.
doing something.
It's actually doing something.
See, I've
yeah.
heard the good ones take like a while. Like they
Yeah.
can take like an hour or more to crunch it to get it, you know,
Mhm.
get something good. But there's a lot of funny ones with John Oliver on his show. Some guy like stayed up late one night just like putting John Oliver and then a bunch of other junk like, you know, like John Oliver with a squid head and just like throwing a bunch of other things on top to see how weird it can get. And let me tell you, it can get really weird. Okay, 24 pin for the motherboard. This is always like the stiff one, so I like to hold the motherboard up a little when I'm pushing that way. There's no issue bending the board. Did that ever install any drivers on that surface that's having issues?
It was sitting at a thing that said, what's the word I'm looking for? The words I'm looking for. It was like a
thing.
Windows setup for this copy of Windows 11.
Was it like the, you know, finish setting up your device?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
You can turn that off in the notification center, but that's our like weird, you know, throw it in everything drive. So we've not done much of the customization stuff
Is this little guy an Apple thing?
since
It is.
falls out. What the
The Ethernet adapter.
absolutely.
That's the only driver we're missing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It couldn't do it?
It couldn't do it.
And that doesn't have Type C, right? So we just won't have Ethernet.
Yeah.
I need to get a third party that's not Apple. It's just that's all we needed them on because PCs all came with Ethernet for so long.
Right.
And that gravy train is over. So this is what I was talking about. You can see it's dual 8-pin, but look, you can split them.
Oh.
So I can move this down and put the wad down here for the other 4-pin that we don't need for the CPU power.
Alright.
So that's cool. And then, yep, that'll line up fine. So really, to get powered on at this point, I just need the front panel I/O and the video card, and then all our external madness in order to actually like see it and stuff. So we got power LED, hard drive LED, power switch. That's unlabeled, really? Oh no, look, it's embossed.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, so I'm not worried about front panel audio right now. So let's see what path we want to take for the I/O. Yep, there we go. So what I like to do is not just trust that. I like to look in the manual. So if you look at the board diagram, it'll show you the breakout. So there's your A2, B2 dual channel. And then it keeps going. You got all your chassis fans. Ooh, a breakout of what all the 24-pin is. Who cares? No one ever uses that. I love how they prioritize that. This is 3.1 Gen 1 headers? That's just the same as the 3.0 header. Okay. That's old school USB. That's 3.2 Gen 1 Type C. RGB. Audio front panel. M2 Wi-Fi, TPM, SPDIF. There you go. Okay. So system panel header gives you all your pinout for all these good guys here. So we're gonna go first.
So we've got another question.
Okay.
Joel Taborda, if I'm butchering that, I'm sorry. I have a doubt. Is it better a MSI 3060 Gaming X, that is an incredible 3060 model, or the 3060 Ti Ventus 2X, which is more basic? I guess he's asking which do you think is the better card?
I would need more specs than that. Are they the same amount of RAM? Because a lot of the TIs I've seen aren't 12 gig. But it's been a while since I've done one of the TIs, and it wasn't an MSI. I think it was a gigabyte maybe. So can you pull up both cards and give me more? Power LED positive and negative. Power switch. Button ground. Alright, we have front panel I/O. So we're using the overclock edition 3060. It's the 12 gig, and it is the Ventus 2X. But I don't know the difference on the TI. I'm not sure what specs are different on the TI without looking it up. But we're getting ready to install that video card. How exciting. I'll worry about USB 3 and RGB and all these other headers later. We don't need them to turn on. Just don't want to crush any wires. Alright, video card. Need to remove 2 I/O shields, or expansion slot shields. What you got?
I got them both pulled up. I'm not sure what you would like me to say to you.
Is the RAM the same?
No.
Is it 8 gig on the TI? That's what the other one was, I think.
The TI Ventus 2X is 8 gig, where the Gaming X is 12 gig.
Is the core clock different between the two? That's my guess. Is the TI probably has a higher clock but less RAM?
What parameter am I looking for there?
It'd be like GPU specification. I don't know how they classify it.
They don't have anything, at least that I'm seeing.
Boost.
Okay.
Boost. The TI has a lower clock. But more, what is that field? Units?
Units.
Units
I have
of
no
what?
clue what units are? Yeah.
Is that CUDA cores? Is that what they're talking about?
I don't know.
I mean, I think for most people, the non-TI is going to be the way to go. Because more RAM. But that said, I mean, probably doesn't really matter that much for most gamers and stuff. You could look up, put each model in Google and put pass mark. So do like 3080 12 gig pass mark and 3060, TI 8 gig or whatever they are and pass mark, and it'll give you scores on them. And that's usually what I base everything like that off of, is what pass mark says, because that's going to give you the best kind of as tested snapshot of what the thing can do. But I'd say probably the non-TI card with more RAM is typically it, because I guess it comes down to is your current setup running out of speed or running out of capacity in memory. That would be the real decider for me. So that's probably what I would lean to. Okay, we have video card power, RAM's in, card is in, so we're in pretty good shape. Let's get the keyboard and mouse on here and the power cord. I know this monitor is really old and embarrassing for such a nice new build, especially since I have to adapt DVI to HDMI to even. But
No
this
problem,
is a show.
And real, have you read the main page of this build? What page would that be?
Yeah.
I have no clue. Unless he means the man page, which I don't know what the man page is either.
Man, you don't know about the man page?
I don't know about the man page.
Man, how do you not know about the man page?
I skipped that chapter.
It's the manly page.
Apparently so. Hey,
Hey, it's
RGB. I like the red.
Are they RGB or are they just red? I think it's RGB.
I think it's supposed to be RGB, at least according to the picture online.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
Oh, there's Phil right here. Can I get it?
Of course.
Hey.
I know you love that peeling feeling.
That's the best part.
CPU power looks good. GPU
Oh, the first page of the manual. Okay.
First page of the manual for what? This motherboard, the cards. I mean, the first page of the manual says Prime X 670p. That's all it says. Alright, we posted, that's good stuff. CPU fans alive, we haven't connected chassis fan headers. These are 32 gigs of RAM in the right slots. These are 2 Tera NVMe. We need advanced mode.
Is this build for gaming?
BIOS. Yes, but it's like double duty. It's a quad monitor like office build. One's a super like ultra wide curved screen, a TV above that, and then 2 baby monitors, one on each side. It's a little much, but hey,
So it's an office build. It's not. It's not.
But it will be playing games after hours, so that's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
cool about it. Okay, CSM is not enabled, which is good. That's compatibility, so legacy mode, we don't want that. Fast boot is enabled. So I'm just going through all of the configuration items, just kind of checking everything. I don't really need much as far as the USB configuration. NVMe sees the controller. We do have SATA, and there will be some 2.5 SATA drives probably getting added to this from a legacy computer. Serial port configuration. Gotta love that that's still on here. Disable. PCI Express link speed. Auto, that's fine.
The
We're only gonna have one
GC gonna
card.
suffer.
The
What's
what?
the GC?
I don't like acronyms. People don't know what you're talking about sometimes. So look, this has PCI Express bandwidth bifurcation.
Huh.
So it's for the X16. So if I click into it, X8 and X8, or RAID mode for NVMe RAID. So that's pretty cool. So that's what we were talking about earlier.
That is wild. We were just talking about that. Graphics card. That's probably what GC means.
Okay, so what's the question again?
He said it's gonna suffer.
What's gonna suffer?
The graphics card. That's the whole sentence.
We're upgrading from like a 1060 or a 1080.
I mean, my 1660 runs fine.
Oh, I think he means with that absurd number of monitors. Yes, I totally agree.
Oh, okay.
And I've told the guy I would disable the extraneous monitors when gaming.
Yeah.
But during work, he needs to have, 4, but even the ultra wide, he can split into 2, so kind of 5 screens.
Okay.
But yeah, I totally agree. I would turn off the extraneous ones when gaming. Also, though, I don't think he's playing anything that's in any way challenging to graphics. Like, it's not bleeding edge stuff that he's playing. He's playing like really basic games. I think some of which are, older games anyway.
Older games, so he's playing solitaire. Okay.
Not that old. But he is playing like, like 5 to 8-year-old games that, this is way too much video for on their worst day,
He could have my old one. Honestly, we can trade.
Oh, my 1060, like 4 gig would probably be enough.
Right.
But I do need to get that swapped out for that 3080. But again, I'm playing on Xbox, not PC.
You're
almost at
lame,
all.
dude. Just plug your Xbox controller into the PC.
I know. I know I'm lame.
It's
I
okay.
just don't play that much, man, so I don't want all that complication. Plus, I don't want to sit in my chair. I want to sit on the couch.
Try Fallout 4, an excellent game. It's free with Xbox Game Pass. Hey, that's actually a really good deal.
Yeah.
I can't do anything with a controller though if it's first person. My entire brain yells at me to stop, and I stop.
I like the
I
walk
can't do it.
controller. Well,
I will say though, controllers you can actually walk in games. On a keyboard, there's one button to move, and it's full speed. Unless there's a sprint, then you press
You
sprint.
mean like the variable?
Yeah, like you can
Okay,
tilt your
that's
stick
true.
and walk.
Yeah.
But on a computer, it's just I'm running.
So in the Lego games, my daughter loves to do that
Yeah.
because if you walk slow enough, they like start creeping
Yeah.
like this.
I've seen
and, like,
TikToks
look
of it. They're pretty
and
funny,
creepy.
honestly. Yeah.
So she loves that. All right, finally posting again. The only thing bootable is our mem test, and it booted. I'm just gonna leave it on 4-pass. But hey, that means all our major components are in, tested, and working, so that's great. Oh, I think I misaligned us by 1 fin on the CPU cooler there. Alright, sees the 32 gigs of RAM. Looks good.
I'm jealous. That's most of my build right there.
Yeah, it's almost exactly the same in
I'm
most
jealous.
respects, so,
Hey, it's whatever.
You'll
though.
get there.
I'll be there. I'll be
It's
there.
not like what you've got is bad.
Oh no, dude, mine's great. I'm not even gonna get rid of it. I'm just gonna give it to Cassie.
I was gonna say, so Cassie will be the one sweating you to get it done so that you can.
Yeah,
pass
give it to
off,
her
yeah.
exactly. And even if she doesn't use it at all, I'm still gonna keep it and just repurpose it for something else. Maybe make it my music computer. Put like programs and software on there. And
For
have a
like
gaming
just
computer.
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
recording, digital audio workbench stuff, like, you know, whatever. We'll see.
My buddy Walker that I told you he's got Joe Walsh's PRS.
Yeah.
He just got finally set up to where he can do some recording.
Nice.
So I'm excited to hear that.
I'm not trying to have a studio, but I wouldn't mind
He's
having
not
like
either, but
yeah, I
I
wouldn't
mean,
mind
it's a
having
bedroom, but-
where I could do it.
yeah.
And I got that computer, the whole setup. Maybe.
Well, you're going direct to PC anyway, right?
Yeah,
like
for my
no
board, it's
amplifier
a
or
PC.
anything, right?
Yeah. I don't need like a soundproof room. I just
Yeah. So you need basically no acoustic treatment unless
True.
you're going to start doing, your pig squealing or something.
maybe. No, I'd make a separate room for vocals.
Well, that's prudent anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I think we are through phase 1 here. So we're just gonna let it run a bunch of passes on MemTest. And then once that completes, I'll do cable management and then we'll get Windows loaded. I need to order the Windows license for this one and that one if we ever get it finished up. Think about adding a top exhaust fan since we were gifted a fan from Antec.
The Barks or the thing said it comes with 5 fans.
It does. So, I think
Kind of lame that this one's not RGB though.
this one isn't either.
Yeah.
Only the front one. But I get it. I mean, the front panel's clear. Nothing else is. So.
True.
Oh no, the side panel's
panel. Yeah.
lame. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do this one like top middle as just an extra exhaust,
Mm-hmm.
just for funsies. Oh look, it'll hold an even bigger fan. This is a 120.
Oh,
So
nice.
it must go up to like 140,
Yeah.
which I have a 140 up there, but it's kind of expensive. Alright, so MemTest, once that gets through, we'll either load Windows or do cable management, and then finish it up, and it'll be ready for deployment.
Do you need the chopsticks?
No,
They are
that was
crucial.
only for other guys custom build you can't get a hand in.
I mean, crucial brand chopstick.
I don't think they're crucial for my chops.
Yeah, come on. Oh,
I'm giving
I
them
didn't see
a
it.
tray.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my gosh. It was so loud.
Well, I mean, maybe somebody's watching with headphones on.
I mean, somebody's watching besides you. There's 2 people in here. So I'm glad that 2 people the whole time got to
Real
ask me.
said, well, there was 3 people total, but I think there's only 2 people now. Real said, only red RGB, can you change it? Yeah, we could probably change it.
I'm
but-
sure you can, but I don't have the header hooked up yet. I just wanted to get it on, posted, and mem testing so we know all the parts arrived unhurt and good and everything's working. I like to kind of get the basics in there so that we know it's all working and that it's worth our time to keep putting time in as far as cable management, all the other goodies. Yeah, this is it for right now, but we'll go back through, load the OS, drivers, cable manage, and then it'll be ready for deployment after that. So yeah, that's about it. Real exciting, I know. I can't think of anything else we can do for now until she gets done with the mem test. You're good. I like to keep all the case parts, so I'm gonna zip tie the I/O shield pieces to this hard drive bracket just so they don't go missing. And then I build these for customers, so I like to give them all the leftover bits. That way, if they do need to add like another drive or something, they've got all the stuff. A lot of people dispose of or keep the extra parts, and that's kind of silly because then, if they ever need to change anything, like add another SATA cable, they need these cables, and if you don't give them to them, then they're out of luck. And good luck finding these to buy and know that they're the right ones for your power supply. Even brand specific, sometimes the pinout's different and you could blow something up. Alright, so we're gonna do top fan. We've got those screws. I think that's all we're adding that's not in there, so cable management. All right, well, I think that's it for today. I might do another live when we start loading the OS and do cable management and stuff like that, but I think that's it for now. Thank you so much. I covered the one spot of the screen that I can't press the button. There we go.